And we are live. Welcome back, everybody, to the Professor's Lab. My name is Professor Rex, and today we are going to be attempting our final Tandemaus codes. We have somewhere between 40 and 48-ish Tandemaus codes remaining. That leaves us at about a 30 to 36% chance of getting this family of 3 Tandemaus. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be starting out with a traditional Chinese family of 3 Tandemaus. And fingers crossed, today is the day that we find the rarest event Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We got Triggery in chat. We got Leaf Green. How's everybody doing? What's going on, you two? I guess let me go ahead and let everybody in the Discord know with a little announcement that we are going live. Philip, how's it going? Are you excited for the up-and-coming EUIC? I was actually out for a walk earlier, and I was thinking, did you ever get a copy of Pokemon Ranger Guardian Signs? Oh, interesting. At first, I thought my capture cards were, like, flickering, but it looks like it's the games? If you leave the game on this scene for too long. We do have a lot of in-game audio. That is true. If we don't want a lot of in-game audio, we can go down to 1 in-game audio. You did. Have you played through it? I wanted to get the Deoxys while we're in Sweden. I feel like that would be optimal. But yeah, we do have all the in-game audio. I like the insanity that is. Boop, 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 boop. 6 copies of the music at the same time. I think that Kyle and I will set ourselves the task of leveling up our multiplayer Pokemon in Ranger Guardian Signs on the flight to Europe. It's kind of been one of our flying together journeys to finish that, and then from there we will go ahead and we will try and get that Deoxys for all of us. I think that would be pretty baller. Now, Philip, I see multiplayer. Yeah, there's a point in the game where you meet Celebi, and Celebi takes you like back in time. And it's like an entire separate kind of side game is the back in time area with Celebi. You have completely unique Pokemon. You can level up your catch stylus again. It's like a separate instance almost of everything. And you level that up to complete the multiplayer missions. The multiplayer missions are what you need to do to get the Deoxys. How many forms of Deoxys are there? There's Deoxys normal, speed, defense, attack. Right? There's four forms of Deoxys. Shiny Clavel. Oh my gosh, one is purple. What are the odds? I have one Pokemon Violet. How's it going, Meta? Happy New Year? Have I streamed at all since December? Is this the first stream of 2026 in the Professor's Lab? I'm trying to remember. It very well might be. I guess there's one way to check. Content. Video producer. No, I lied. We streamed the ribbon hunt. We streamed the ribbon hunt in January. That is true. Okay. First, like, hunting stream of 2026. But not the first stream of 2026. Well, in the time since the last stream, we've had some, how would you say, interesting adventures. We ended up going to the Toronto Regional Championships. I won one round of Pokemon Go using nothing but mythical Pokemon. And then from there, it's getting way more than it should. Should not be like that. Streaming to Twitch way... Okay, 1 second, everybody. There we go. Okay, let's do this. Leaf Green tried to shiny hunt Shaman for their birthday yesterday. Didn't shine, but had a great time. I still need to go finish my Shaman BDSP hunt, honestly. It's one of those things where it's like I've been 100% meaning to go and finish Shaman, and I really want to do the Arceus as well, but I just keep getting myself sidetracked with a million other projects. But definitely on the list is doing like 6 times Shaman, because I want to take a few of the saves that I have that like have Shaman on them with the official event, and then take a few saves up using 1.1.2 and then encounter Shaman that way, you know, like encounter Shaman a little bit using glitches, a little bit using the official method, and then just kind of see which one gets the shiny, right?
No caller.
1 second, we're getting a phone call. Hello? It seems to have been nobody. Unknown caller. Got to check those calls. Got to screen those calls. You never know who it could be. It could be someone important. Maybe it is the Pokemon Company calling to say that I'm finally allowed to be invited back to another Pokemon event. Yeah, so to control the 6 switches, we're using our classic golden Wavebird. Each of the switches have a USB to GameCube adapter plugged into them. And each just has their own Wavebird receiver. What's crazy is that if they finally release Virtual Console for the Nintendo Switch, this will be like the cheapest way to do Generation 3. Will be buy a Switch 2 or like a used Switch, and then a Wavebird and a USB adapter, like cheaper. Same adapters used on the Wii setup. No, so the USB to Wavebird or GameCube adapters were officially released for Smash. Like they're called the Smash adapters, I think. Like GameCube Smash adapters or whatever. They were released for Super Smash Bros. U and Super Smash Bros. Whatever Ultimate for the Switch. And they allow you to plug a GameCube controller into the Wii U or the Switch. For the Wii U, I believe that it was only possible to use it in Smash. You couldn't use those controllers in other games that like there wasn't firmware for it. But for the Switches, the GameCube controllers can be used on everything. So we've used them to do multi-hunting in BDSP, a little bit of multi-hunting in Legends Arceus, and then multi-hunting the Tandemaus here in Scarlet. When, you know, Zopi, it sounds funny, but I might actually genuinely have my extended warranty coming up fairly soon. 2026, I got my car in 2023. We're probably coming up on my my extended warranty ending this year. We're crossing our fingers on the Tandemaus. A little note for everybody, if you look down at the stream avatars wandering around on the bottom of the screen, I am going to be giving away family of 3 Tandemaus avatars to anybody who's in chat when we find the Tandemaus. If the family of 3 shows up, everybody in chat, everybody with an avatar on screen will unlock the family of 3 Tandemaus. But there's one little problem, one little caveat to this, which is we're looking at like a 30 to 36% chance of getting a Tandemaus in the codes we have left. If you want to secure the family of 3 Tandemaus, make sure you get the avatar before it's gone for good. You can super chat, you can Twitch bits, or you can gift sub. Rex needs to make a little bit of money back since these codes were expensive. But as for getting the Tandemaus, fingers crossed. I mean, a 1 in 3 chance, not amazing, but definitely not impossible. But we do have a lot of playthroughs of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet to get through before the codes run out. I would love to get the Tandemaus before we use up all of our codes, because then I could take some codes and I can give them away. Or I can try to sell them to make some of my money back. Like there's... Oh man, it would be nice. It would be nice to get this Tandemaus so that I don't have to feel like everything that we've done here was for nothing. But we're running short on time. These codes expire on the 31st. So we have about 4 days left to get the family of 3 Cherish Ball Tandemaus. We did about 6 or 7 code giveaways while I was in Toronto for the regionals. I was hoping to do a lot more, but we ended up coming across a little bit of a problem with our Airbnb while we were in Toronto. So I've been a little bit sick. My friend Venti came to Montreal for the New Year. His flight from Italy got kind of redirected to Montreal. So he spent the New Year's with me and my girlfriend and got me a little bit sick. So my nose has been stuffed up for like literally 3 weeks. I haven't had a great sense of smell for the last like 3 weeks. And our Airbnb slowly started filling up with natural gas. And then I couldn't spell it. And my friends kind of thought, oh, like you walk into an Airbnb and it always has a bunch of weird smells. You know, they use like weird chemicals to clean the floors. It smells not like your house. Nobody knows what an Airbnb is supposed to smell like when you walk in, and I couldn't smell it. But the smell of gas just kind of like went under the radar. And then my girlfriend and I were sleeping in the basement next to the heater, and I woke up the first couple of days just with like massive headaches. So we were there for 3 nights. On the first 2 nights, I just woke up, and every night I had a headache. I just didn't feel like I was sleeping well. And I just thought, oh, you know, I need more water. There could be some cussing. A little bit of cussing is fine. But yeah, so I was like, oh, I just need more water. I went to go pee. There was no indication based off of that I actually needed more water. You know, I was hydrated. I was sleeping. Like, why did I feel so tired? Why did I have a headache? Genuinely, I just did not know. And then our friend Rachel comes in on the final night. They come in around midnight, and they're like, guys, this like whole house smells like gas. And I was like, oh, like I cannot smell it. And then other people are like, Rex, I told you it smells like gas. I'm like, yeah, but I can't smell it. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. Right? So we called the Airbnb, and Airbnb was just like, oh, you know, oh, that's not good. And I was like, okay, yeah. And they just did like kind of nothing. Yo, Zopi with the gift sub.
Zopi has pants gifted 1 subscriptions to the
Hey,
community.
yo. Okay. You know what that means? That means that Zopi has pants is the first. Where's their avatar? What avatar is Zopi? Maybe they're this Dunsparce. Yeah, there they are. They are the first to unlock FO3, the family of 3 stream avatar. Thank you for the gift sub. We got the trigs. We got the triggery subscribed in chat. But Zopi, thank you for the gifty. Thank you for supporting the lab. I will say this: if we do not get the Tandemaus in the codes that we have, I will spend any of the money that we make doing these streams over the next couple of days. Literally any of the money will be spent on trying to buy like the last Tandemaus codes on eBay. Okay, where was I in our story? Right. So we call Airbnb, and they say, well, we have no hotels we can put you in. There's not much we can do. And I'm like, okay, but like, okay. Well, it's -13 out Celsius. Like, it's cold as balls. What do you want us to do? And they said, well, we can give you like $300 per hotel room. And I was like, okay, that's not enough money to buy a hotel. And they said, alternatively, we can give you $100 to go and spend the night in a cafe or a restaurant. For 14 people, they offered us $100 to spend the night in a cafe or a restaurant. But bear in mind, it's like 2:30 in the morning at this point. Our options are pretty well freeze or spend all night in a McDonald's. That's the only place that's going to be open. And I said, look, we found a hotel, but it's more than $300. And like the most we can offer you is $300. And I said, okay, but it's $500. And like, nope, we can offer you $300. I'm like, you're literally going to have us freeze, because we called the gas company. They showed up. There was gas all in the basement. Like the multiple points of the heater were leaking gas into the basement. And Airbnb is like, nah, there's really nothing we can do. Now, here's what's funny is if Airbnb, if the rep I'd been speaking to was like competent at all, maybe they would have realized, oh, yeah, our maximum allotted reimbursement for like hotel stays is $325 US per room. US dollars. Bear in mind, we're in Toronto. I'm Canadian. When they tell me that we have $325 as reimbursement, I'm assuming that's in local currency, right? So I said we need $500 per room. They said no, we can't do it. So we had to cut our trip short. We ended up all going home. We missed out on the second day of the regional. Luckily, you know, everybody was okay, but my friends were very stressed out over the fact of like, there was like a severe gas leak in the basement. There was no carbon monoxide detectors. And since I was sick, I couldn't smell the gas. There was a chance that like, you know, the gas had just built up enough that I just didn't wake up. And Airbnb genuinely did not seem to care. Our host didn't seem to care. We messaged our host and they said, oh no, gas. That's not good. We've never had gas problem before. Okay. Well, what are you going to do about it? Nothing. Nothing. And I was thinking like, so this is the first time I've had like a genuinely problematic experience with staying in an Airbnb. And my friends and I have done it like all over the world. I've been all over the States in Airbnbs. We stayed in an Airbnb in Japan. You know, like in different places in Europe. Like I've done Airbnbs. Never had a problem. But I genuinely feel like if there is a gas leak in your Airbnb and the gas gets shut off and you have to evacuate the house, it should be like reasonable that you get a full refund on your stay, right? Like, can you in chat, everybody, let me know if you think that it makes sense that in the event of a gas leak that has you evacuate the Airbnb you're staying in the middle of the night, in the cold, you get a full refund for your stay. It's just like hands up in chat if that makes sense to you. Okay, we got yes, we got life-threatening Airbnb, yeah. So that's kind of where I was on this situation. I was thinking like, if this was a hotel, if I was in a hotel and all of a sudden the hotel room is full of natural gas, I don't think it matters how expensive the hotel was, or if I had been there for like 2 nights already, I think the hotel would be like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Like, we're gonna comp your stay and then like give you either like coupons to stay another time or something, right? But no, Airbnb support. So the host is like, oh yeah, I mean, I guess we'll refund you like 1 night of your stay. Airbnb support says, we're going to investigate this. And then our ambassador, Alice, says, just an FYI, I'm ending my shift now. I'll be off for the next few days. So we cut our trip short, had to evacuate in the middle of the night in the cold. And our Airbnb support rep doesn't respond to us for 3 days. And they get back to us and they say, hi, we're looking to have this resolved within 72 hours. Can you send us any additional documentation? And I'm like, okay, we already sent you, you know, the picture of the gas company employee testing the gas. We sent you a picture of the documentation they left on the door saying house is not safe for habitation, gas is turned off, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what else you want from us. We explained to you what we had to do. You didn't put us into a hotel. We had to cut our trip short. They get back to me after 71 hours. So they said, we'll get back to you within 72 hours. We'll have this resolved. 71 hours later, literally cutting it to the last second, they said, "Hi, we're refunding you for a portion of your last night of stay in the Airbnb." And I said, "What?" They didn't refund the cleaning fees. They didn't refund the taxes, and they refunded a portion of the last night of our stay in the Airbnb. And I said, "Okay, can I escalate this to somebody who can review it a second time?" And they said, "No, there's no escalation. Like, this is as far as it goes." And I said, "Well, that's unacceptable." They said, "Well, we can't do anything more for you." So then I keep hounding them. I call support back. I'm like, at this point, effectively harassing Airbnb. And they're like, "Okay, fine. We've also offered you like a 50% refund on the other 2 nights." And I'm like, "Okay, but you still haven't refunded me the taxes or the cleaning fees." Yo, ACF Gaming, thank you for the follow. Welcome on into the Brofessor's Lab. How's it going? And they say, "Oh, well, this case has been reviewed. This is as far as it goes." Again, right? Like I apparently I should be able to take the Airbnb support team at like face value. When they say like this is as far as it goes, it should be as far as it goes, right? But no. Again, not as far as it goes. Because I send them the breakdown of the price of the Airbnb and I say like, "Okay, at the very least, like, why am I not being refunded the taxes I paid or the cleaning fees and other Airbnb fees?" And then they say they don't respond. And then like a couple hours later, I just get a receipt saying, "We're refunding you this portion of your Airbnb stay." So after over a week of arguing with Airbnb, with 3 of those days, I guess, in fairness, just being them not responding because one of their employees is off. And the other portion of it, just them saying like, "Oh, we already reviewed it. There's nothing more we can do." We have a 66% refund on everything. Now, we're missing a couple of things. They have not yet confirmed or denied whether or not they'll refund us the toll road fees that we had to pay to drive home. And they've like not even acknowledged the fact that like the Airbnb that we were staying in was not in compliance with any of the local laws of Toronto because they had no carbon monoxide detectors. And then our hosts tried to blame us. They were like, "Oh, well, there was carbon monoxide detectors last time we checked." I'm like, "Great, but there wasn't any carbon monoxide detectors when we were there." So this was last Sunday, 9 days ago at this point, I think. Because we were staying in Toronto for the Toronto Regional Championships, and I missed out on an entire day of giving out Tandemaus Cherish Ball Tandemaus codes. You know, I gave out 6 on Saturday. My plan on Sunday was to just give away a lot of Tandemaus codes so that we might get the family of 3 Tandemaus. Carinale. This is an event that was only available in Singapore, Taiwan, and Japan. It is the Cherish Bell Birthday Tandemaus. Like with any Tandemaus, there is a 1% chance that it'll evolve into a family of 3 mousehold. So what we're doing right now is we are playing through Pokemon Scarlet and Violet in hopes of getting the family of 3. So we're playing through up to the first Pokemon Center. Then we're going to put our codes in. We get 1 Tandemaus per code. We have about 40 to 50 codes left. It is shiny locked, it is height locked, so it is just a 1% chance to be family of 3 that we are chasing after. Now, I don't know. I know that was probably a long-winded story. Thank you all for sticking around and listening. I genuinely am a little bit surprised by Airbnb's entire handling of the situation. The first support rep we talked to was like way too nonchalant about there being like a gas leak in our Airbnb. The host was nonchalant about it and then blamed us. Our host was like, oh, well, there was no gas leak when we, like when you got there. And I was like, how can you know? There's no gas leak when we got here. The walkway wasn't shoveled. So there's like proof that you hadn't been to the house recently. If the walkway was shoveled, at least then we could have an argument of saying like, oh, like you had come to check the Airbnb before we checked in. But there was days worth of snow in front of this house, right? So I was surprised that is how Airbnb handled everything, especially as somebody who's like used Airbnb all over the world. Like my Airbnb account has been part of probably 20 or 30 plus Airbnb stays, which I guess in the grand scheme of everything Airbnb does is not that much. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, I've definitely paid Airbnb fees of like up and over probably $3,000. The least I could expect would be like somebody to respond, somebody to be present to talk to. And not just have like 6 days of no responses. Like that was kind of crazy. The fact that this employee was just like, I'm going on my break now. I'll be off for a couple of days. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I don't really care if you go on a break, but like pass the case off to somebody else. Additionally, I do feel like Airbnb should have 24/7 localized support. I think that if I had been able to talk to a support rep that was in North America, they would have been able to solve a lot of our issues. One of the main issues being that we did not have anywhere to stay once we evacuated the Airbnb. Had we had been talking to somebody in North America, maybe they would have been able to put 2 and 2 together and realized, oh, we should convert the amount of money that we can give to this customer as for lodging to their local currency. You know, if they had just said we can give you this much Canadian dollars, we would have been like, oh, okay, then we can go get a hotel. But they gave us our reimbursement maximum in USD, which was just entirely useless. And they didn't say 325 USD. They just said $325. If somebody tells you that you get $325, I think it's reasonable to assume that they're talking about your local currency. So I don't know. It's very frustrating. The other problem is that like, I don't think that it's the sort of thing that can keep me away from using Airbnb. And I don't want to say that. I want to say like, oh man, this is the sort of thing where it's like, I'll never use Airbnb ever again. I never want to use Airbnb ever again. But there's no alternatives, right? Like Airbnb already crashed the housing market. There's not much else that I can do. There's nowhere else to stay, you know, like they've monopolized already. Yeah, it's frustrating. But yeah, exactly, Meta. It is crazy that they just didn't transfer the case to anybody else. Oh my god. This feeling of just having one game that's out of sync. There we go. Okay. Get everything to the cutscene. Fun in Game says landlords do be landlording. It's everyone's fault but theirs. Right? Yeah, it's like... not my house. Not my fault that your gas was leaking. And then the whole system is broken. So I left a bad review, obviously, of our stay. I mean, right from the start, walkways weren't shoveled, the fridge was leaking all over the kitchen, and half of the so-called beds that they had advertised were like these uncomfortable as hell fold down couches. Like, not even pull-out couches. They were fold-down couches that were just uncomfortable. So I was like, I was already going to leave a bad review before the gas leak thing happened. But they just refused to do anything because I would think like, oh, I mean, they would probably not want to have a 1-star review as their second review on their Airbnb listing, right? But what's interesting is as soon as I left my 1-star review, they put up a new listing. There's just now a new listing with 0 reviews for the same property. So the whole system is gamified where I think that there's these like Airbnb almost companies. They're running the whole thing like a company, and they just know like, oh, we get a bad review, you just make a new listing. Evo, exactly. Like literally, somebody could have died. It was me and my girlfriend staying in the basement. The gas is extremely dangerous. Especially because it's the sort of thing where it, like when you're sleeping, it just fills up the air. Like it doesn't get rid of the oxygen, but it just changes the composition of the air to the point that there's like very low oxygen saturation, right? Yeah, like you just don't wake up. And Airbnb support and the host didn't take it seriously when we said like, we woke up with headaches, fatigue, and nausea on the nights that we stayed there. And they're like, oh, well, why didn't you leave? I'm like, first off, I can't smell anything. I've been sick. Second off, I don't know. None of us had dealt with a gas leak before. That's why people die of gas leaks. Genuinely, one of the reasons people die of gas leaks is because they just like don't know what to do, what it smells like, or what the causes are. Yes, gas leaks can be deadly. Exactly. Do Airbnb properties show up on Google Maps? No, they don't. They just have like, it's just a house. On Google Maps, it's just a house. And I don't know, maybe I've never experienced something like that at a hotel, and I don't know how a hotel would react. But like a hotel would be able to put you in a different room or like offer a refund. If it was a Hilton, or just a regular hotel, they'd be like, oh my God, we almost killed you. We're going to put you in a different hotel. We're going to refund your stay. Airbnb was like, there's nothing we can do. Well, yeah, and then it's like, I also want to point out that this was like not an inexpensive Airbnb. So we stayed for 3 nights and our Airbnb total was like $1,800 US. So it's not like this was like some extremely cheap Airbnb, right? They could have afforded to do the refund, because if that's what they're charging, I know for a fact that if they were to rent that house out, they would probably be able to charge maybe $4,000 to $5,000 Canadian at most a month in rent, right? So they're making a huge profit on it being an Airbnb. I think I'm gonna lose. This duck's gonna lose. We can't have that. Okay. I gotta use the strong attacks. That duck had 1 HP left. Airbnbs are expensive. Yeah, so it's like... And the other problem is Airbnb has like priced everybody out of owning homes. So it's like, it's just a lose-lose in a lot of ways. Can't afford to live in the city anymore because everything is Airbnbs. And it's nice. It's nice having like an Airbnb because there was 14 of us. That's a lot of people to try and put in multiple different hotel rooms, right? And the nice thing about having an Airbnb for us is when we wake up in the morning, we can have like our breakfast, we can watch Pokemon, we can just chat and hang out. Like, there's benefits to having a house for a group of people to stay in. When we stayed in New York for GoFest 2024, we all stayed in different hotels or different hotel rooms. Same hotel, different hotel rooms. Which just meant that like in the morning and at night, there really wasn't that much. There wasn't really a great opportunity for us to all hang out together. We just ended up hanging out in the lobby, which annoyed everybody else in the lobby. But at least like we were able to hang out. But it's definitely nicer to just have like, you know, a main living room to hang out, play Magic in, chat, right? So there's benefits to it. And that's why the cost is what it is, right? But that cost should also come along with a, if we almost kill you, you get your money back kind of guarantee, right? Because for me, I live close enough, we could have just driven to the regionals, right? It was 2 days. Would have been like a grand total of maybe 4-5 hours of driving. Didn't even save that much driving because, well, we had to drive to the Airbnb anyways, right? It was just nice to have everybody together and be able to go to the event nice and close in the morning, right? But out of my pocket, it was expensive. And then I almost died. And then Airbnb support was just such a brutal thing to deal with. Their parents have one of those tracking apps. They were worried a hotel would have set off red flags, and they were really jazzed for their first time. Wait, okay. Partner wanted to rent an Airbnb for us to use, and we were looking at like $300. And you're sitting here staring at paying $300 for the first time. Like, you could literally... It's a lot to take in at once. But yes, I understand. Airbnb, a little bit less sus than checking into a hotel for sure. At the same time, I would say maybe like also reasonable to just leave your phone somewhere if you're that worried about being tracked. Like, I don't know, just leave your phone at a friend's house. I don't know if I should offer ways to get around parental tracking apps, but there's definitely things that could be done. Now, to be fair, if you were to pay a worker for such an experience, just know you generally need to provide a location for the work to occur as well. So it's not like you just be scot-free. Generally, there's a location requirement as well. Trying to hide the not being straight from the parents. That's a tough one. Really sorry they're in that position. I wish that I hope that someday their parents are at a point where they don't need to hide that from them. Okay. We got some Tandemauses now. We got some Tandemauses to redeem. Redeem Tandemaus. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I think everybody deserves to be in a position where they know that their parents would love and support them regardless of their sexuality. But unfortunately, you know, as we all know, that is not the case for a lot of people, and that's very sad. That being said, hope you had a nice time. If you did end up going through it, I hope that you enjoyed it. And I hope that there comes a time where either their family is understanding or they feel safe enough to share with their family. Okay. Tandemaus time. Let's start. We got a Tandemaus code to redeem. Let's do this. Switch controllers. Okay, well, we'll save. Let's save all the other games as well. Wrong buttons. Okay. We have about 40 to 50 codes left. I'm not 100% sure which ones I've used and which ones I haven't. Honestly, I haven't done a particularly good job of keeping track of which ones I've given away at Pokemon Regionals. That's kind of where the not knowing the exact number comes from. Is I've been giving away codes when I'm at Pokemon events. Okay. Internet. Mystery gift. Received from code. We'll start. We might as well work our way through the codes that we have. And then if some of these have been used, I'll just mark down potentially that they've been used. Okay. This is the first time we've done 6 at once, so this is the most Tandemaus we've got to check at a single time. I have high hopes that this is going to be the one. That Tandemaus code works. We're going to add the check mark emoji to that. Perfect. Going for the 1% family of 3. Exactly. There's our first Tandemaus. Boom. And then this should be a traditional Chinese Tandemaus. Now I know one-child policy, it's not exist in Taiwan, but it's kind of funny. We're going for the Chinese one-child policy Tandemaus. Okay. Let's check those stats. There's the traditional Chinese. Birthday ribbon. Those are our stats there. Okay. That is our first Tandemaus. What we need to do now is deposit these in our box and save. Perfect. We can close that. We're going to go to our next system now. There we go. Ooh. This one's a little bit slower because we need to go kind of like one at a time, switching out to from the Wavebirds to the individual controllers that we have installed for them. Some of these are going to be offline. This one's online because it has a cartridge. Very good. Mystery gift. Do we keep all the Tandemaus? We have way too many Tandemaus right now. Hopefully, once this is all done, I'm going to be able to give away these Tandemaus. Like, I want to do a giveaway. I just also wanted to have, you know, my, like, 3 boxes full of Tandemaus before I started giving them away, right? Oh, this is going to be pretty much like the most expensive individual Pokemon I have ever owned. Is that a Tandemaus code? Is that going to work? We got another Tandemaus there. Perfect. Check that code off. Tandemaus number 2 for our 3rd round of Tandemaus codes on stream here. Let's check this one out. Disconnect from the internet. Okay. We have Chinese Tandemaus. We got these stats here. And there's the birthday ribbon. Okay. Drop this into our box. And save. Perfect. Now we can quit to title. We're gonna go to our 3rd switch. Ugh. And for this one, we do need to go out of airplane mode. Oh, shoot. Got to change the controller. Okay. Controllers. Change grip. There we go. Okay. I feel like I've gotten pretty good at doing the initial playthrough of the game. Like, it's fairly straightforward, right? It took us about 45 minutes to do the playthrough of the game, which is on par with kind of how it's been. About 45 minutes to play through to the first Pokemon Center. And then we have the slow entering of the codes. But just remember, every time we do this, 1% chance to get the rarest event Pokemon in the entire franchise. There we go. Nice. Third Tandemaus. Okay, disconnect. Let's check our Tandemaus. What are the odds for family of 3? It's 1%. I think that with the codes that we have left, we're looking at about a 36% chance of getting a family of 3 Tandemaus from the ones that we have. So, not amazing odds, but also the sort of odds where it's like, it's definitely possible. %1 per Tandemaus. It's low. It's low meta. Because the encryption constants are just randomly generated, which is what kind of puts us in the position of either you get it or you don't, you know? Okay. No, I think I got it, Caranale. I don't know if it's like the appropriate for this an appropriate stream conversation, but I understand. It's like you and your partner were looking for your first opportunity to be intimate together, and their parents have like a phone tracking app. You didn't want them to track that down to a hotel. You were looking into Airbnbs. And their parents are tracking, and they're afraid that their parents might figure things out about their sexuality. I understood. We got it. Shout out the Let's Go demo. Let's Go demo has some very interesting parts. Not that. Oh, okay. Then I guess I might have misunderstood some things. I think I just used this code, but I'm just going to do it again just in case I just forgot. I'm pretty sure we just used this code and I forgot to check it off, but we'll try it again anyways. Yeah, A013. We definitely just used this one. Yeah, okay, we did just use that code. Caranel, feel free to elaborate. This is a safe place. You know, it's like people who are not straight, more than welcome here. I'm not here to judge. Some of my best friends are not straight. Actually, most of them. Most of my best friends are not straight. $7X7L. And a mouse, baby, please. Okay, Tandemaus number 4. Here we go. Let's go. Putting a check mark next to that. Just a note for everybody who may just be joining us. If you look down at the bottom of the screen, we do have some family of 3 Tandemaus avatars available. These are avatars that you can unlock by being here when we finally evolve a family of 3 mousehold, or donating bits, donating super chats, or donating gift subs during the stream. You do any of those 3 things, you're going to get yourself a sick stream avatar.
No.
There we go. Okay. Let's check this Tandemaus. You see, me and you are different. I love being the person that just like says something absolutely crazy and refuses to elaborate. Something absurd. Yo, Caranale, thank you so much
gifted 1 subscription
for the gift sub. I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, you know what that means? Caranale is going to be our next holder of an adorable Tandemaus stream avatar. We just got to find where their little avatar buddy is so I can turn them into, there they are, turn them into a family of 3 Tandemaus. Perfect. That brings us to 3 family of 3 Tandemaus down here now. And hopefully we're going to put all of these funds, my plan, going to put all of these funds, if we do not get the Tandemaus, right into another family of 3, or some more codes. Perfect. Okay. Let's deposit these. Yo,
Jack Gustavius hit us up with that prime.
Jackus with the
Him
prime.
working, so I can't stick around.
You know
but
what?
I saw you were live and had to say hi.
You know what? I'm gonna count a prime. I'll count a prime sub. Where's Jackus's avatar? What is he? He is like what's his Delibird maybe? No. He's Yuxi. Yes. Okay. We'll count new subscriptions, new memberships as well. There we go. That's a family of 3 Tandemaus right there. Okay. Let's save. Good to see you, Jackus. Happy belated birthday. I actually meant to message you on, what day was that? Saturday? Was it Saturday? And then I entirely forgot. But happy belated birthday. Hope it was a wonderful one. How did you know? I remember these things. I remember important dates for my favorite viewers. And I'm a stalker. 1 second. Ugh. Change these controllers. There we go. Okay. Tandemaus number 5. This is the first time ever we are redeeming a 5th Tandemaus code in a single run. What popped out about the virtual game card? So I own one original Scarlet cartridge, one original Violet cartridge, one DLC Scarlet cartridge, and one digital copy. In order to run 6 copies of the game, 2 of the Switches are running digital instances of the of Pokemon Scarlet. My main Switch is just able to boot the digital game card offline. So that's what it's doing. So 2 of them are running the digital game card offline. My main Switch is running its version offline as well. Okay, we got another code here. So that's how we get to 6. I own 3 physical cartridges, 1 digital cartridge, one digital license. 1 digital license can be turned into 3 offline instances of the game running. But in order to redeem the codes, we need to go back online. So that's where the problem lies. Okay. Ivy, how's it going? Welcome on back to the stream. We are on Tandemaus day number who knows what, attempting to once again track down the family of 3 Tandemaus. We got a 5th Tandemaus redemption now. Oh, fingers crossed. This one's the one. We gotta check mark that. Perfect. Yeah, it's there's like a little video on the channel, the YouTube channel, that's titled just like how to play multiple versions of ZA with 1 copy or something. I forget what I titled it, but it's just like a quick demonstration of how I play multiple instances of the game with just a single license, which can be very helpful for shiny hunting for sure. Quaxley, Tandemaus. All right, we gotta look at this Tandemaus. Let's see these stats. Let's see these stats. Look at that. Okay. Just saved, right? Yeah. There we go. Now we're saved for sure. Okay. And finally, Switch number 6. 6 Tandemaus. 1 playthrough of the game. Very slow, but there we go. Okay. Never wanted anything in Pokemon more than this mouse family. You and me both. Actually, this is one of those things where it's like I'm genuinely not sure how I'm going to react if I don't get it. You know, we've invested so much into getting this Tandemaus. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do if I don't get it. Why is play being suspended? They're all closed. Every other instance is closed. Okay. Connecting. There we go. Okay. Oh, okay. Fingers crossed. I'm excited to evolve them though. J49724 GG. Have you ever moused a hold? I've holded a mouse. Code should be a QR system by now. The Switch doesn't have a camera, so a QR system would be, yeah, interesting. I don't know how useful it would be. There we go. Our 6th Tandemaus. Now we just got to go through and one by one deposit them into bank. Oh, how exciting. Tandemaus. Or as they say in Korean, doriji. Doriji, 2 mouse, 2 rat. Oh, true. I guess there is an official camera for the Switch. Having QR codes or codes would work, I guess. It would be cool to be able to scan them with the IR on the Joy-Con. I just think it would need to be both, like a QR code and a digital code. But at the same time, like, how often are you putting a code in? Is it even worth the effort? Okay, that is our 6th Tandemaus. Now we got to go through. We got to put everything into home. Switch has a phone app. Yeah, it's actually very useful for like sending screenshots from your phone to, or from your Switch to your phone. I use it all the time for that. I don't know what else it's used for, but the Switch phone app is useful. I need to fix this camera. There we go. Center frame. Yeah, and you can use it on the Switch one. Oh, wait, can you? Maybe I've only tried it on the Switch too. No, it works for the Switch one as well, doesn't it? Yeah, I agree. It is genuinely a useful application. But exactly, Filene kind of gets it, like, how often are you putting the codes in? Is it really worth the effort of setting up a QR code system when the number of times that you're going to be putting a code in at all is like pretty well negligible? Okay. Dropping that in. Save and quit. Pretty decent marketing with it. That would be interesting. Like a QR code in an ad or something. I feel like that would, you know what? Now you're kind of selling me, because I'll be honest, sometimes I don't redeem the event Pokemon because I am too lazy to put in whatever stupid code they've come up with. Like all of the numbers instead of letters. Like championship, but it's spelt with a 1 and a 0. Just having a QR code to scan, maybe I would be more motivated to actually do it. Knight, I'm sold. You've sold me. Tandemaus number 1 submitted. Tandemaus number 2. Let's do it. Oh. Fawn Games just wanted to thank you again for the Eon ticket I gave you in Toronto Regionals. It's inspired you to get your DS Lite up and running again, and you're playing Ruby again. That's awesome. No worries. I really wish that I had had the opportunity to give away more Eon tickets, give away more Tandemaus. do more with the Pokemon Rescue setup at the Toronto Regionals. But I don't know if you were here for the story of there was a giant or like a severe gas leak in our Airbnb and we needed to leave in the middle of the night. It kind of threw a bit of a wrench into our plans, the plans that we had surrounding not waking up or not sleeping. We'd planned to sleep and then go to the regionals, and instead there was no sleeping and leaving. Very, very disappointing. Okay, and save. But it was still fun, and I think with everything that's happening in the States, I'm thinking I'm going to potentially cancel my trip to Las Vegas in March. I was planning on bringing I'd been invited to bring the Pokemon Rescue Station to Las Vegas Comic-Con, or no, Anime Las Vegas. And I think just, I don't really want to cross the US border right now. So I think I'm going to reach out to, there's a Toronto Game Expo that I think I am going to reach out to. It's also near the end of March. I might do that instead. If they can give me a booth, I think I might look at doing that. You could do more than just Pokemon. Imagine seeing an ad on Instagram or YouTube for the Switch and had a QR code that gave you like some bells and a shirt in Animal Crossing. It's entirely fair, super fair. Yeah, it's... My girlfriend is a little bit afraid as well, just because I'm not the type of person that keeps my mouth shut. I'm generally I'm the type of person where if I don't agree with something, I will say it. You know, like I got into an argument with a bunch of racist bouncers when I was in Ohio and scared the snot out of my friend because these people had big guns. And I just don't think that I would be the type of person that would be able to keep my mouth shut if I was in Vegas and then something happened. So I think that I would rather stay in my country where the police are less likely to kill me in broad daylight. Not a fan of carbon monoxide. Not a huge fan. I will say the carbon monoxide was not... Oh, actually, no. So the thing was, the gas leak was on the intake of the heater. So you generally get carbon monoxide because it is a byproduct of incomplete combustion of natural gas. And you get that on a gas leak on the exhaust side of a stove or a heater or something that uses natural gas. So we did not have carbon monoxide. We just had the room full of natural gas. And the thing that natural gas does is it displaces the concentration of oxygen in the air that you're breathing. Similar to carbon monoxide, the only difference is carbon monoxide binds to your red blood cells in the same way that oxygen does, I believe. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I think that we have Ivy tutoring med. He might know better, but I believe that carbon monoxide is able to bind to your red blood cells in the same way that oxygen does, whereas natural gas just reduces the concentration of oxygen in the air. Yeah, so I think that was my plan for this evening. There's a couple of tasks I have at hand. I need to, send an email out and see if they would be potentially interested in hosting the Pokemon Rescue Project at the Game Expo in Toronto. And then the next thing is we need to get our, we're planning on getting the Professor's Lab appraised so that we can put insurance on it. It has reached a point where the collection has likely exceeded $100,000 in value. And if something were to happen, we want to just make sure that we're not completely out on our butts. So those are a couple of the tasks. A couple of tasks after stream today will be to, why can't I? Interesting. Why is that one at the bottom? The order of my switch screens is wrong. Switch 2. Go up there. Perfect. Okay. Lego promotional giveaway things. First prize includes a ticket to Worlds, plane ticket included, and while you've always dreamt of going, I don't know if I dare right now. Don't even know what you do if you won. What's the most valuable item in the collection? Most valuable item in the collection right now? Probably like single item. As much as I hate to say it, is probably a card. My brother bought the Chinese exclusive lottery Mew. So there was a Mew given away this year in China that was only available to people with a certain amount of championship points in the Chinese circuit. And then it was 151 given away per month for 10 months. So there's 1,510 of them in the world, give or take, because there's probably offcuts and things as well. But each of those cards is worth between 7,000 to 20,000 US dollars, depending on the condition. The one that we have is probably a PSA 8. So we're looking at a value of around the 7,000 US dollar mark. Other than that, I think that there's a lot of items that have a lot of sentimental value. And because of that, I probably need to have an appraiser actually get a value on it, because I don't know what the value is for a lot of things, because for me, I would never sell them. So I've never really worried about thinking about it. But at the same time, there are things here where it's like, yeah, they're definitely valuable. So, that's like a task for probably March. Probably start looking into it now, arrange an appraisal, and have everything insured in March, because we do have a lot to do in February. Speaking of which, want to hear some shit about the prevalence of guns in America. Your everyday carry pistol you found used in a gun shop and decided to buy it that day. Guess how long it took you to buy it? It's a concealable pistol with 3 15-round magazines. I do not know. I assume that you have to already have a gun license in order to purchase a used gun. But I have no idea. I've never looked into buying a gun, and it's very different in Canada than it would be in the States. So you'll have to tell me. There we go. So that is our six Tandemaus. Let's check these summaries. Let's check these stats. We got 31 HP on this one. Decent HP. Let's see. Ooh, this one's a perfect 31 speed. All around kind of okay. Low attack. That's a cool one to have. I do like having random, like, low attack ones. Oh, 0 attack. I hope this one's the family of 3. Family of 3 0 attack would actually be pretty sick. Not that I can imagine any particularly important use for like a 0 speed Tandemaus, but yeah, okay, we're looking through them again now. 0 attack. I can't imagine a particularly useful reason to have a 0 attack Tandemaus, but hey, it would be very cool to have. We already do it. We have a 0 speed one, though again, not really sure what it'd be useful for. You just produced your ID, no gun license required at all. Wow. Well, moving forward, you definitely have to be careful because it does sound like even if you're legally allowed to hold a gun, you can still be shot in the streets for having it. So. Perfect. Okay. 6 Tandemaus. Let's check this out. And then we do have more codes, so we're gonna evolve these. Fingers crossed, something good comes out of it, and then we go right into another round of Tandemausing. Here we go, everyone. Here we go. Can we get some FO3s in chat? A little bit of good luck. "31 minutes total." That's absurd. That's absurd. Okay. Do this one at a time, I think. FO3, family of threes. Okay. This has got to be it. This will be the one. This is a really ugly biome. Okay, this one's a little bit nicer. I think a Trapinch. A Trapinch family of 3 makes sense. Arjan. Okay. 6 chances. Let's check the math here. Let's check the math here. It's going to be like 5-point-something% chance. What are the odds that one of these is a family of 3? We got 0. Okay, 6. 5.85% chance to get a shiny. Or sorry, not get a shiny. 5.85% chance to get a family of 3 on this run. Crazier things have happened. Dun 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 dun. Ugh. Bwah, bwah, bwah. This is not the last batch. We have like, at this point, we'll have like 34 to 40 something more. It just depends on how many of the codes that I've used. Okay, we're gonna do the 0 attack last. So our next one is here. We could do these all at the same time, but I do think that since it takes about 20 minutes per Tandemaus, it makes sense to give them their extra 1 minute to evolve. Best of luck. Thank you, Phylene. Currently hatching Baniri and Heart Gold, hoping to get Jelly Runaway, max HP, max attack, max speed with a max defensive stat. So you're hatching 150 at a time. Jelly Runaway, max HP. It's a lot of specifics. Best of luck. Here we go. Tandemaus number 2. Dun 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 dun. Oh, come on. Come on. Okay. Less babies. Papa wants 1 kid, no twins. None of this twin stuff. No hashtag twinning. Hashtag single child life. That is crazy, Caranale. I'm also sorry to hear that you went through a tough time in your early schooling life. Okay, here we go. Tandemaus. One more child. One more child, Tandemaus. I believe in you. Okay. It's too many kids. Okay. 3 more. Does sound like this. What the heck? What? I don't think I've ever actually encountered a Chansey in this game. Why is Chansey so fast? What? That's actually hilarious. YZ, what's cooking? Chanseys are scary fast. Yeah, I mean, I think I should have been able to catch it there. I was just expecting to walk up to it. This is the first game other than Safari Zone where it's actually just been like, boom, out of there. Okay. Family 3. Family of 3. Family of 3. Family of 3. Here we go. You're gonna make me sick. You make me sick, Tandemaus. Okay. Oh no, not a picnic, not a picnic. Let me out. Let me out. Yeah. Okay, we just gotta run really fast, I think. Too slow. That was way too slow. Not even close to being fast. How goes it? Well, could be better. We could have Tandemaus, but so far we've evolved 4 family of 4 Tandemaus. I do think the next one that we have is a 0 attack IV Tandemaus. And I do feel like there is a chance, ever so slightly, there is a chance that that could be our family of 3. The chance is 1%. But crazier things have happened. Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on, Tandemaus. Let's go. Oh, man. Yeah, I just keep them as little babies. Oh my goodness. I evolved. I encountered this Chansey. I was like, oh, I'll evolve the last one off of this Chansey. I won't even have it with me. We need to find a whole new Chansey. Oh no, this Chansey's sticking around. It stayed. Okay. 0 attack. Tandemaus. If any Tandemaus was going to be the family of 3, it would have been our 0 speed, but this is a good runner-up. Here we go. Why are you running? Why are you running? Why are you running? There we go. Throw a rock at it. I can bait. Okay, here we go. That's kind of close to a bait. Okay, bait strat. Boom. You survived that? Adios, Chansey. Please, Chansey, give me good luck. No. Ah. 6 more. I'm just looking for like all we needed was like a crit, just a natural 20. Just 1 crit. That's all it takes. Okay. Gotta go delete our saves. Bye-bye, save data. Okay. Same thing on all of the switches. We just gotta go delete our save datas. Now we gotta delete the save data. Yeah, okay, so delete the save data. Anyways, it is what it is. How's everybody doing? Now that we've seen our 6 Tandemaus, we can get back to the fun part, which is, I believe, just users. Let me switch this. There we go. Okay, data management. Delete, save data. Vote to play some League in a 5 stack. Yo, Philip, so have you played Have you played any of the quick play in the new season? It's kind of I don't know, man. I was enjoying playing quick play with my friend Bailey. And what they've done is like you get an ARAM start now. So instead of starting at level 1 with like normal gold, you start at level 3 with 1400 gold. It just like entirely changed the game to being not Summoner's Rift League of Legends anymore. I just want quick blind pick games where I get the champion I want. I don't want to play draft. I was like, every time I play draft, somebody bans Teemo, and I'm like, bro, I just want to play Teemo. Just let me play Teemo. But no, Rex isn't allowed to play Teemo. That would be crazy. Play Yumi instead. No. No, never. Never. I never wanted to do that. Okay. Gotta go offline. And then we get the fun part of I go offline and then it probably messes up all of my controllers. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Step by step, we will get there. Top lane Yumi spikes at level 20. Level 20 isn't a level, so you're not going to catch me on that one. And also, no, I don't want to play Yumi. I have no... Yumi is a cuck lane. You play Yumi if for some reason you want to just get cucked. It is in the top lane in the new season. Level 20. Okay, okay, okay. I believe you. I believe you. I do think that there was some like leveling differences for top lane or something that they announced. So I think that you might be right. Still don't have to agree with it though. Okay. Disconnecting from internet. Wait, is this one that has a cartridge? This one has a cartridge. Ugh. They did your boy the Boss FFS dirty new season solo counters his play style. Hell. The stuff is so annoying actually. So one of these cartridges is not a DLC cartridge. It's like just the regular game, right? So I try to boot the game up using the cartridge. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, we can't do that. I'm like, why can't you? Why can't you boot up the game? And then the game says, well, because you don't have the DLC. And I'm like, that's fine. I put a cartridge for Play is being suspended. Play is being suspended. Why? Great question. Great question. Ah, haha. That's why. This Switch needs to be offline. Why are you still online, Switch? Why are my lights flickering? I just want to be like, Switch, if I don't have the DLC on the cartridge, just don't play the DLC then. Is that okay? Oh, what an annoying system. Perfect. Okay. Do not need the DLC, so that's okay. We're all good now. Controllers. Okay. I think we're ready. I think we are ready. The Switch needs to online. Ah. There we go. Okay. Good. I think that we are... Did I forget to delete the save on 2 of these? How did I do that? Oh, man. We're getting there. We're getting there. It's a slow burn. But we're looking at what? This is going to be just about 2 hours? Just about 2 hours, 1 hour and 45 minutes per set of Tandemaus. There we go. Okay. Let's do it. Round 2. Start. Here we go. Traditional Chinese. We're going to go for that Chinese mouse again. Yeah, I never put you guys through anything that I wouldn't put myself through. When you listen to all 6 game audios, I listen to all 6 game audios. It's only fair. But Philip, I'm so sorry, Kyle, and I have not really been able to nail down the best schedule. As Kyle, I think, said, he's been sick, so just trying to figure out exactly how much time he can have off has been a bit tricky. But my plan today is when he gets back from his doctor's appointment to wrap everything up with planning with him. I'm really excited to see you, though. It's been too long. It's been... Let's check how long it's been since I last got to hang out with our favorite Swedish lads. We can check. Your Lapras has been in the gym by my house for 516 days. 516 days. I was talking about how most of my friends are gay. A lot of my good friends are not straight. A lot of them are bi. Decent number of them are gay. Insane, right? This is the longest I've ever seen a Pokemon in a gym for. Like, I've never been able to have my Pokemon in a gym that long. Oh, then again, my Pokemon have been in there 182 days. Which is kind of crazy. Sure, yeah. Yes, many of my friends are the collective gay. Hey, Tony, there he is. Speaking of the gays. How's it going, Tony? Good to see ya. It's been a while. Sometimes it feels like 60% of the decent people on the internet are LGBTQ+, I swear. I feel like it does kind of lend itself towards being more open-minded. Being more open-minded, I would say probably makes you more likely to be an understanding and reasonable person. Like, being closed-minded about things right out the gate makes you a less understanding person, right? More open-minded people are more likely to be able to see things from multiple perspectives, be more understanding of people, and be more empathetic. Just like me to stream when you're in your bed sleeping. Brother, it is 7:30 at night. What do you mean? I've been streaming for 2 hours. I've been streaming since like 5 o'clock your time. How is this my fault? No, I refuse to take the blame. I'm not taking the fall for this one, Tony. I refuse. Okay. Well, we have about 45 minutes of just hanging out until our next set of Tandemaus checks. Anybody got anything that they want to update me on? Any cool shiny hunts they got going on? What's everybody got cooking these days? Here in the professor's lab, what do we got? We got, well, we had the Toronto Regionals. Toronto Regionals were fun, other than the big gas leak problem. But, oh, you know what? I can show you guys something kind of cool. Let me send this to myself in Discord, or I can pull this up. I'll pull this up in Discord here. Dun, 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 dun. Hello from NS. I assume that must mean Nova Scotia. Hello, welcome. We love our Nova Scotian brethrens. One of these, I think, has a... Did I delete it? Maybe I did. Okay, I'm just gonna add it in here. When display capture. There it is. So, one thing that we did this week was my brother and I got 2 big sheets of aluminum and we mounted the Pokemon car in our lab. So we're trying to redecorate one part of the Professor's lab, and that is going up on the wall there. So that was something that we picked up from one of the people that were like disassembling the World Championships in Anaheim. We just asked like if they would roll it up and give it to us, and they did. So after they took that off the window, we just grabbed that. That's going to be kind of the wall decoration for the working area part of the lab. So that's pretty cool. Philip found an old copy of Battle Revolution at his parents' house. Okay. Dual hunting Pokemon Battle Revolution. Is that what I'm hearing from you? Do you have multiple Wiis, Philip? Do we need to bring you an extra Wii? I keep buying Wiis on Facebook Marketplace when I see them, so... Actually, that being said, I messaged somebody earlier. Hi, very interested. Can I pick up the Wiis? Somebody had like a bunch of broken Wiis that I wanted to repair. You never turn down a $50 Wii. I would turn down a $50 Wii. A $50 Wii is that's an expensive Wii. But I recently, like, I was driving out to Montreal to visit my girlfriend, and I picked up 6 repaired, fully functional Wiis. No power cables, but like the systems themselves. Guess how much I paid. Guess how much I paid, everybody. It was a very good deal in my opinion. 6 fully functional Wiis in Canada. I'll let everybody guess first. Philip has 3 Wiis. You could totally multi-hunt. Okay, we got a bit of a spread here. $150 is too high. $50 is too low. I paid 100 Canadian dollars for 6 fully functional Wiis. Honestly, an amazing deal. So pleased. True. Okay, yeah, so you got 3 Wiis. You got Japanese Battle Revolution that we got in Japan. And then 2... Yeah, it's like 12 US dollars a Wii, like a wicked deal. And you got 2 European ones. Natively Canadian. Yeah. That's, for me, it's $100. But yeah, I'm born and raised in the Greater Toronto area. That's where I got this sick accent. Aha, cutscenes disabled. Perfect. Makes a huge difference. But like 100 Canadian dollars is like nothing. Hey Siri, how much is 100 Canadian dollars in USD? She's not listening. Hey Siri, how much is 100 Canadian dollars in USD?
$100 is 73 US dollars and 52 cents.
Yeah, literally like 12 US dollars each. The Canadian accent shows up in like 3 words and everyone makes a huge deal about it. It's true. I am out here, I say, oh, friggin' rights, yeah, bud. And everybody thinks that I'm a hick or something. No, it is funny because I have a lot of American friends. We just had a group of our American friends visiting. They just stayed in the lab for a few days after the Toronto Regionals. And it is funny having a bunch of Americans and a bunch of Canadians together because I don't feel like us as Canadians make fun of American accents all that often because a lot of the media we consume is American, right? But the Canadians, or sorry, the Americans are out here, and I say out, and I say about, and I say whatever else they seem to think that I have an accent on. And they're like, oh, we're going oot, are we? What about that? Huh? I'm like, that's not what I sound like. If I want to sound like I have an accent, I can make myself have an accent if that's what pleases y'all, right? But it's really funny to have like people with a Midwest American accent making fun of my accent. I'm like, you sound like that, and you're making fun of how I talk? That's insane. You don't hear it if I don't force it. Yeah, it's more something that I can like turn on and off, but it's not something that I generally speak with all the time. I find that my accent becomes stronger if I'm tired or inebriated in some way. But for the most part, like it's barely anything. That being said, our friend Liam is from Nova Scotia. And he has an accent and it does not turn off. He's got the accent 24/7 and I love it actually. I love the Nova Scotia accent. Potentially one of my favorites. I mean like everybody's favorite like English speaking accent gotta be Australian, right? But Nova Scotian is pretty great as well. Which starter should we get this time? I'm feeling Spriggy. I'm feeling Sprigatito. Need to practice your Canadian accent to blend in when you flee to Canada. I mean, if your Orange Man has any say in it, there won't be any fleeing to Canada, because if you go north, it's just going to be America as well. I don't want to get too deep into the politics, because I think that it's just too dark these days. And it's like every time I open Twitter, every time I open Reddit, there's just new terrible news. But the Orange Man posted on Truth Social a picture of New America, which includes Venezuela, Greenland, and Canada, all with big American flags on them. And that being posted on social media by one of the most powerful people in the world, that pissed me off actually. Like that bothered me to no end. Cuba and one more place. Oh, I didn't even see Cuba. I guess it would make sense if the map included what's the one that's incorporated? Not the Philippines. Can't remember the name. Very weird. But yeah, no, that one bothered me. I feel like social media laws need to be placed or something. Like there needs to be like votes in cabinet before the president can post things. It's just crazy that the most powerful person on the internet, or one of the most powerful people on the planet, is just kind of going online and posting whatever they want and getting their boots licked for it. It's insane. Yeah, Governor Carney, like, he's back to it, eh? Like, I saw him say that. I was like, oh, I thought we were done after it was Governor Trudeau, but we're right back to it. I think he's just jealous. I think Trump is jealous because he knows that unlike Justin Trudeau, who gets to go and date a pop star after he gets out of office, his life isn't going to be any happier once he's done his presidency. Trudeau just gets to kind of like retire, live his life, and, you know, life goes on. It is what it is. I'm over it. I'm over it. I want this guy gone. And I think that like a lot of my friends are kind of now teetering on GoFest. This year might be the first GoFest we've ever missed. Though, you know what? If we've never missed a GoFest, it would suck to miss our first GoFest. But somebody earlier asked if I would be interested in going to GoFest Copenhagen. And I'm just thinking now, like, maybe that's the way out. Spending more time in Europe. Hanging out in Europe. Yeah, I posted about it months ago. But I posted months and months ago. I said, look, I posted it after, because this one, that one bothered me. When Homeland Security, the official Homeland Security Twitter account, posted the Pokemon theme song with them brutalizing immigrants, I was like, look, the Pokemon company should genuinely have some balls and say we're canceling hosting the event in America. Because last year it was a problem. They hosted the World Championships in California last year, and all of the Chinese Pokemon Unite teams had to drop out of the World Championships. They were not allowed to compete because the American government would not let them into the country. There was plenty of players that worked so hard to earn their invite and were unable to attend. Plenty of people from South America, South Asia, lots of competitors that deserved the chance to go and compete at the World Championships that were denied entry. They should just have some balls and host it somewhere else. They hosted it in Japan in 2023, hosted it in Hawaii in 2024. Hawaii is still the States, but they hosted it in Japan in 2023, London in 2022. There's nothing saying that they have to keep hosting it in America, yet they're choosing to. Host it in Germany, host it in South Korea, host it, you know, host it in France. Like, go host it somewhere that more people can have access to. And I get it, like, a lot of players are American. So here's the problem. It's like, if you host it elsewhere, a lot of American players might not have the funds to travel. But there's ways around that. Like, the competitor kit is worth about $2,000 US, which should be able to cover a lot of flights and travel costs. It sucks that you need to give that up in order to make the trip, for sure. But at the same time, it's more fair that you get to go and sell your competitor kit than the people that are just not able to go because their visas won't get approved. Pokemon World Championships Sweden 2027. Now that I could get behind. Yeah, I mean, if anywhere should be declining visas, it should be every other country declining the people trying to leave America. Be like, I feel like you're not going to go home. Pokemon World Championships Greenland 2026, just out of spite. I don't want to go to Greenland. I think 95% of people don't want to go to Greenland. Iceland. Ireland. Ireland would be cool. But honestly, the fact that the Pokemon Company never made any official statements condemning the use of their IP in the Homeland Security ICE ad that just remixed the Pokemon song. The fact that there was never an official statement about that is extremely disappointing to me. The only quote-unquote statement that that was ever reported on was a previous president of media, not even a current employee, somebody who's not even an employee of the Pokemon Company was the only reported stance. And they said, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do anything about it. Brother, you're not even part of the company. Why does your opinion matter? Mark, how's it going? I do want to genuinely apologize. I had every intention of being at the Toronto Regionals for 2 days. I was there for the first day, and on Sunday night there was a severe gas leak in our Airbnb and we had to leave, and Airbnb did not help us at all with finding lodging, and we ended up just going home. So we missed the second day of the regionals just because we were up until 5 a.m. trying to figure out any way to stay in Toronto and be part of the event, and they were just absolute Airbnb support just refused to help us. Yeah, it's honestly spineless. Spineless that they haven't said anything about it. Largest media franchise in the world. I think that maybe there would be worries about political ties between Japan and the US if they were to say something, but at the same time, I just feel like it would be so easy to just say, hi, yeah, you're not allowed to use the Pokemon theme song to make fan cam videos about thugs beating up immigrants. I don't know. I mean, that seems like a reasonable policy. You missed day one regionals due to another card tournament you top 8'd at. Dude, congrats. Was there any prize money involved? Are you winning big bucks? Also, what deck were you running? My brother was running Joltik Box, and he had fun with it. I think he ended up going 2-2 or something. 1-2, and then he 1-2 dropped, maybe? I would need to ask him, actually. I forget exactly what his record was. If I heard about the TikTok shit, I have never really liked using TikTok. I have 7,000 followers on TikTok, but I almost refuse to post on it because I hate the platform. Always have. But I do think I saw, oddly enough, a post from the annoying orange Facebook account that okay, yeah, so the annoying orange Facebook account posted that they made the same post criticizing ICE on Instagram and TikTok. And on Instagram, they got like whatever 700,000 views, and on TikTok, they got 123. So I'm sure I know what you're talking about in that or TikTok is like hiding posts talking about ICE. But I mean, at the same time, it's TikTok. I don't know what any of you expected. It's been a Chinese garbage slop app for the longest time. And now it's an American garbage slop app. I don't know what you would expect. Sucks about the Airbnb shit. It was brutal. We talked about it for like probably 30 minutes earlier, but essentially Airbnb had a gas leak. Airbnb support did not help us at all. Hosts didn't help us at all. And we ended up having to leave because the gas company came and turned off all of the gas and all of the heat. So I haven't been playing Pokemon TCG anymore, moved on to other TCGs, but you've been doing lots of Shelfa hunting in Legends ZA. That makes one of us. I have like barely touched Legends ZA recently, actually. I want to do a deep dive. I got to get back to it. I want to do like a deep dive on like what Pokemon are actually rare in Legends ZA now. Because I have like weird rules in my head about what makes a rare Pokemon. And I think that that's just like everybody that collects Pokemon. Like we all have some set of like rules for what makes a collection interesting. For me, I only collect Pokemon based off, or like judge a Pokemon's rarity based off of a few things: the Pokeball it's in, the level it's at, it's like ribbons / marks, its origin mark, and sometimes it's moveset. Oh, and then I guess like species shininess, right? For me personally, I kind of like generally ignore natures. Okay, I've screwed the pooch on this one, actually. Okay, we're just gonna get a few of these to the cutscene. Galactic, how's it going? Oh, Alphanus, size mark. Yep. Okay, yeah, there's like a few things. Like there's definitely a bunch of things. In older gens, I would just look at like shininess, level, ribbons, sometimes moveset, Pokeball, right? There's definitely like some things, but the one thing that I generally don't worry too much about is location tag. I don't really care where in the game the Pokemon came from. As opposed to like where or like what level it is. So like where in the game it was caught is kind of like lowest on the totem pole for me personally. So right, so what I was saying is like for Legends, yeah, I want to figure out what is genuinely like the rarest Pokemon in the game. And to do that, I want to look at, are there any Pokemon that spawn in space or whatever they're called? Wormholes? Alpha? No. In the Z dimension? What the heck did they call it? The Mega dimension. if there are any Pokemon that spawn in the Mega Dimension at a higher level than they do in the Overworld, that gives the Overworld version like a little bit of an edge potentially on still being a little bit rarer. Like if there is a Eevee that spawns at a lower level in the Overworld than in hyperspace, then Eevee might still have, you know, a chance at being one of the rarest in the game. But you look for you look at hyperspace and you look at like Gibble. It took me 10 minutes to get a shiny Gibble in the DLC as opposed to getting the Gibble in the Overworld. But I believe that the hyperspace Gibble is actually a lower level than the Overworld Gibble, which just means that like if you want to get a nice underleveled shiny Gibble, the best place to do it is in hyperspace, immediately kind of devaluing the Overworld one. Obvious place to look is in random alphas in Area 20. There's really nothing in the random alphas in Area 20 that you can't shiny hunt elsewhere. So if you are specific about wanting, you know, a shiny from the with like the location tag of being caught in Area 20, sure. I just don't care about the location caught tag for a Pokemon. So for that reason, it's just like almost every Pokemon that you can catch as an alpha in Area 20, you can catch at a lower level as an alpha somewhere else. So what I probably need to do is just make like a nice big spreadsheet of all of the Pokemon in the game and then break down like which Pokemon can you get in the Overworld, what level can you get them at, and then which Pokemon can you get in hyperspace, what level can you get them at, and break down like is there anything in the Overworld that's rare that spawns at a lower rate. Another thing that I need to check in on is like, have they patched the Pumpkaboo shiny thing? I haven't heard anybody talk about it in a long time. Are the Pumpkaboo shinies still like something you need to actively hunt? Beldum, I know of only 2 spawn points. Beldum's really easy to shiny hunt, though, like extremely fast to hunt in the underground, and I think it spawns in hyperspace as well. There are a couple of Pokemon in hyperspace that are a little bit rarer, like Gimmighoul and Aerodactyl. I think are limited exclusively to like the special scan hyperspace areas. So like special scan exclusive Pokemon are definitely rare. And yeah, looking at like the low level rare spawns, the only thing about a lot of the Overworld low level spawns is they can't be alpha, which kind of then puts you into a little bit of a tricky situation, because it's like, is it that rare if you can't get the alpha? The Scrafties that spawn on the roof in Lumiose and the Scrafties that spawn in the alleyways at night in Lumiose can't be alpha. Just like the Pansage, Panseer, Simipour, or Simisear, whatever, Pansage, Panpour, Simipour, Panpour, Simipour? Simisear, Pansage, Panpour. Those are the 3. Yeah, okay. Those 3 can only be alpha in very specific locations. You can get the alpha on the roof, and I think that's it. Because any of the Panpour, Panseer, Pansage that spawn in the trees are alpha locked. Gimmighoul, Arctibax, Aerodactyl, Hisuian, Avalugg are hard to get. Those would be the ones that are special scan exclusives. Why only one Violet copy? Because I only own one copy of Pokemon Violet. And that would be the answer. I've been looking. I want to track down a 3.0.0 copy of Pokemon Violet with the DLC on cart. Just have not managed to find that yet. Arvin, quit it with your animations. Just let me attack. Okay, there we go. Off lunch break. Oh, Mark, have a great day. Thanks for dropping in. It was nice seeing ya. We definitely gotta hang out at some point, like in Toronto. It's like I only see you in other random places in the world. We gotta go do something together at some point. I'm gonna be busy for the next little bit, but we gotta figure something out. How many copies of Fire Leaf Green and how many GameCubes? 50 GameCubes, I think was the last count. It was 50 GameCubes, 33 copies of Fire Red and Leaf Green, split almost evenly, like 16 Fire Red, 17 Fire Red, 16 Leaf Green. My brother and I have been like kind of getting back into collecting Pokemon cards a little bit more. I know that you said you're not playing, but maybe we could go to like a card convention or something at some point. I've been having fun at card conventions. I didn't expect that I would enjoy the couple that we've went to as much as I did, but the couple of card conventions we've gone to have been really enjoyable, actually. A couple weeks ago, we went to one in Ajax. I think so. Yeah, we went to one at the Ajax Convention Center, and that was really fun. And then last weekend, we went to one in like North York, and we got a signature. So this is really cool. The Friday of the Toronto Regionals, we didn't go to the event because there was a card event happening. And instead, we went and we met the voice actor for Mewtwo from the first Pokemon movie. So I have a Pokemon movie VHS signed by Rachel Lillis, Veronica Taylor, and Eric Stewart, who are the voice actors for like Ash, Brock, Misty, Jesse, James. And we added a Mewtwo to that collection by getting a signature from Jay Geode, who was credited as Philippa Bartlett on the Pokemon the movie VHS. And yes, so we interviewed him. It's going to be part of a future video. He was genuinely so sweet. He spoke to us for probably like 30 minutes. We did get a recording of him saying the classic line, "I see now that the circumstances of one's birth are irrelevant. It's what you do with the gift of life that determines who you are." And that was super cool. And he was very, very sweet. And I think it was also meeting him gave me all of the information I needed to understand why the Pokemon card market makes no sense to me. I, for the life of me, cannot understand why the Pokemon card market is the way that it is. A lot of the cards that are like really expensive, I just don't understand why anybody would care as much about them as they do. But we went to this collector card event. So we went to this card, not event, did I call it? Card show. We went to this card show. And theoretically, we should have been like almost entirely surrounded by Pokemon fans, right? Yet there's all of these like crypto bro looking ass people walking around with Pelican cases full of slabbed cards And oh, I'm in Montreal all the time, Galactic. Send me the info. I'll go. Maybe I've even been. But my girlfriend lives in Montreal, so I'm there all the time. Okay, so we're surrounded by what theoretically should be Pokemon fans, right? People with tens of $1,000s of Pokemon card inventory. And we show up. There's like 9 of us in my friend group that went to this card event. And for like 45 minutes, the group of us, the 9 of us, were the only people that came and talked to Jay Geode, the original voice actor of Mewtwo, the English voice actor for one of the most iconic lines in like Pokemon's entire history. And there was nobody going over to get signatures. So like I got a signature on a card, I got a signature on the VHS, my friend got a card signed, and then Jay also sold. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Did I post it? I might have posted a picture. Here we go. Okay. Let me show you guys this. This is so cool. So, we have Professor Tops, our friend Dragon Tamer Liam, me, Professor Polytoad, YZ Knife. So we got the VHS signed. We got our card. Liam and Kyle, we all got cards signed. And then Jay Geode was selling hand-painted Mewtwo art. So this is art made by the original voice actor for Mewtwo. And he was just like so happy to have people talking to him and asking him questions about stuff that he like sold us these at a discount. So each of these hand-painted signed Mewtwo arts, I think we paid 120 Canadian dollars each. Honestly, I don't know. There was cards going up and down for like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Like you can go and buy a Mew card for $300 easy, right? Yet everybody at this card show was failing to notice that like these hand-painted Mewtwo arts by the voice actor for Mewtwo, maybe they're not worth the most money, but if you're gonna spend like $300 on a Mew card, if you're gonna spend $800 on the Mewtwo Giovanni alt art, how is it that $120 hand-painted canvas art was not like the best deal at the entire show? Do not tell me that you care about the art on the cards and then entirely ignore the fact that the voice actor for Mewtwo was right there. You know? It was like I saw this Instagram reel of some guy. He was saying like, I collect PSA 9 slabs because that means I can have a good condition of the card and I can still collect the art and I'm not paying for a PSA 10. And I'm like, if you're collecting PSA 9s, immediately get out of here. Get out of here with like the bullshit of like, I like collecting the art. That's not what it's about. If you like collecting the art, you'd have a binder like me. I have a binder of specific artists. I have a binder and it's Yuka Mori, Yuki Kobaba, and Komiya artwork. Because those artists have been doing art for so long and they just make such cool, unique artwork. And I collect cards that are bent in half, man. I want my cards to be like whitened. I want creases on the edges because I want to collect the art and I want to be able to spend the rest of the money I'm saving on not buying a PSA freaking 9 on buying 5 more garbage cards. Like, I'm not going to say I don't have any graded cards, but I will say I don't own a single slabbed card I didn't grade myself. The cards that we have graded in the collection right now We have a Mew Gold Star that our friend pulled when he was a kid. We have a Celebi Gold Star that we pulled when we were kids. I have my Mewtwo GX Alt-Art Test Tube Mew that I pulled in like 2017. And we have an Umbreon Gold Star that we pulled from the Celebration set. And we have the Pikachu promo from the World Championships in Japan. Oh, and I have my first ever staff promo cards. Staff Professor Turo that I got for staffing the regionals in San Antonio. Right? So like I'm not going to say I have no slabbed cards, but the graded slabbed cards that I have, I don't even care what they're worth. I genuinely do not care what they're worth. Because the reason I bought them, or the reason I graded them, was because I just wanted to have some nice way to like display these cards that like actually mean something to me. But like I said, everybody who was at this like card party HQ event in North York, if you went there and you spent over $150 on any card and you didn't go and talk to the voice actor for Mewtwo and the original voice actor for Meowth or the voice actor for Roy, you cannot tell me you're a real Pokemon fan. Because in my opinion, any real Pokemon fan should know that Mewtwo quote. Because it is like one of the most powerful quotes in the entire Pokemon franchise. The entire movie, Mewtwo is forced to question what it means to be human, right? It's forced. 1 second. Ooh. So that movie, Mewtwo spends the entire movie questioning, like, who am I? What is my purpose? Like, these are quotes. Who am I? What is my purpose? And these are questions that every single human on the entire planet asks themselves, right? And he wants to prove that he is superior. He wants to prove that like his clones are superior. And the end of the movie comes down to Mewtwo saying, I see now that the circumstances of one's birth are irrelevant. It's what you do with the gift of life that determines who you are. And I don't know, like I've seen a lot of children's media over the years. Between being a kid and being an adult, I've seen a lot of children's media. I've seen most of the Pokemon movies. And there is not a single Pokemon movie, in my opinion, that comes close to actually having the sort of impact in the writing that the first Pokemon movie does. And yeah, fun and games is correct as well. So the other line, like there's a video on my YouTube channel where I talk about this a little bit more, and I think I'm going to dive into it as like its whole own video. But there's a line from Meowth. It says, yeah, we do have a lot in common. The same earth, the same air, the same sky. Maybe if we stopped looking at what's different and started looking at what's the same, well, who knows? And I don't think that like either of those lines have genuinely gotten any less true. If anything, I think that with like the internet era, those lines have become... Oh, okay. J4970E0. I got the last one wrong and the second that one wrong. 9, 3. Okay, there we go. We got a Tandemaus. Tandemaus number 1 for run number 2 of the day. Classic. Oh man, I could talk about the first Pokemon movie for so long. I actually just watched it with all of my friends again. Oh yeah, I gotta turn on the mouse. 1 second, I gotta turn off this Master Ball. Where's the Master Ball icon? Dun, 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 dun. There we go. Okay. I watched it with all of the friends that were staying with me in Toronto for the Toronto Regional Championships. Sorry, Philip. OG Mewtwo or Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Grovyle? I gotta go with Mewtwo. I love Mewtwo so much. Like, I feel like Mewtwo is... I feel like Mewtwo, okay, in one side it's overrated, right? Like, it's overpowered. It got 2 megas. Like, on one side, I almost want to say Mewtwo's overrated. But on the other side of things, like, Mewtwo has straight up just like one of the best stories in the entire franchise. And in the first movie, it's like a genuinely well fleshed out character. And you rarely get to see that in children's media, especially children's media like Pokemon, right? I love that movie so much. Oh, I forgot to change my controller. Look, I mean, this is kind of a crazy confession, but whatever, it's fine. I lost my virginity like 2 hours after watching the first Pokemon movie. Not for the first time, but like I watched the first Pokemon movie. We watched it at my prom after party. Not mine, but like I was at a prom after party with like a lot of the artsy kids, the band kids, the art kids. And we watched the first Pokemon movie as a drinking game at our after prom. And I don't know, I mean, that was a pretty good night. Not a bad night for me. I learned a lot that evening. J497 A4H9. Seven T64. Okay, we got another Tandemaus. There we go. You would legitimately be a different person if those characters never existed. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so my girlfriend has never really watched any of the Pokemon movies. I mean, not even really, just never, straight up never watched any of the Pokemon movies. So we watched 3 of them together on like Monday night, I think, of last week. And at the end, she said, I liked the first one. I didn't really like the other 2. So we watched Mewtwo Strikes Back, Mewtwo Returns, and Destiny Deoxys. And Mewtwo Returns is kind of okay. I like that the DVD copy of Mewtwo Returns has the original like Japanese opening cutscene with Mewtwo in the test tube and Alice, and like kind of the story of Dr. Fuji wanting to revive his daughter and everything, right? There's there's mouse number 2. Mouse number 2. Very nice. Put this in the box. Save. Nice. Okay. On to number 3 here. We got another Tandemaus to get. I think actually 3 I need to do last. So we'll do 4 here. Yeah. Oh no, 5? 5. Okay, there we go. We'll do this one. But yeah, she was like, I liked the first one. She actually cried. You know, like I don't think it's impossible to watch the first movie without crying. But I think that between the soundtrack and the presentation, I think it's difficult not to tear up a little bit at like the scene where Ash is just turned to stone and all the Pokemon are crying. And I think that the next big signature I want to get on the VHS is I want to get a signature from the vocalist from Blessed Union of Souls. I think that one of the things that causes that scene to hit so heavily is the earlier singing of like Brother My Brother. I don't know a lot of songs off by heart, but that one I think that I probably know most of. And it's like one of a few songs from movies that have impacted me enough that they make it into like the general rotation of my day-to-day music. But brother, my brother, tell me, what are we fighting for? Yeah, we've got to end this war, brother, my brother. I don't know, it's the song fits what's happening in the movie, but I think that there's also just a really deep meaning to that song. That is Tandemaus number 3. Tandemaus number 3 here. This one's going to be one of them. Remember, 5.85% chance from each set of Tandemauses. What music have I been listening to lately? I haven't really been able to, I haven't really had the drive to go and like look for new music. I have Avicii. I always end up coming back to Avicii. This one's kind of embarrassing. So the most recent songs added to my Spotify liked music, we have Bad Habits by Ed Sheeran, Ophelia by the Lumineers, I Could Be the One by Avicii, Run by Joji, Animals by Martin Garrix, You Look Like a Dream I Had by Yo Mas, Embo Hut Thuk Chua by Bik Fong, Mo Bamba by Sheck West, Stutter by Mariana's Trench, What It Sounds Like by Huntrix, Golden by Huntrix, Circles by Galantis, and Vampire Bat by Glass Animals, which means that it's been a while because Vampire Bat is new but also old. No, I've listened to the whole Lumineers album. I think that some of those songs, it's not like I've just recently found them. It's just I just noticed that they weren't in my album. I think I just noticed that I hadn't hit the like button. Most of Lumineers music, most of the Lumineers music is in my liked playlist. If you've never listened to Mariana's Trench, I recommend that. That's like a Canadian band. So in Canada, we have something called the CRTC, the Canadian Telecommunication Radio Commission. And the CRTC forces Canadian TV channels and radio stations to air a certain percentage of Canadian produced music and television. Because of that, it's like almost everybody in Canada has heard Mariana's Trench before, and a lot of Americans haven't. And I personally genuinely love the CRTC. Not to be confused with the CPC, but the CRTC. Megapog Epic. I really actually love what they do for Canadian art, because in comparison, or like just in general, America dominates a lot of the world's media consumption. And I want Canadians to have a chance at actually being able to rise to prominence. You know, like I have a few friends who create music and they just get checks from the CBC every once in a while for airing their music. Their music is just in rotation. At some point, Canadian music needs to go on, so they just play Canadian indie artists. And I think that that is so cool, because without it, it would be so easy for American media to just bury almost all Canadian media. Okay. We got another Tandemaus to redeem here. Schitt's Creek is on that, I believe. Schitt's Creek, Shoresy, things like that, definitely. What you might not notice is a lot of American TV and movies are still filmed in Canada, because in order to fit within CRTC regulations, and then have like maximum screen time at movie theaters or on television, they push to have like a certain percentage of their production made in Canada. So Schitt's Creek is like an obvious one that's recorded like less than an hour away from where I live. 1 second, we got a code here. J49724JN. M5U6. Ugh. It would be crazy if we had one that had like M4U5. That'd be awesome. SUU. Schitt's Creek was filmed in Orangeville. Schitt's Creek was filmed in a few different locations. A big portion of Schitt's Creek was recorded in Goodwood, Canada. A portion of it was actually filmed in my hometown. Some of it was filmed in Orangeville. There we go. Tandemaus number, is that 4? Tandemaus number 4, I think. We got 2 more Tandemauses to redeem in this run here. Let's check this Tandemaus. Don't think you've seen a lot of Canadian movies. Hollywood still has a monopoly on film production, but what you might not notice is that a lot of Hollywood films still have large numbers of scenes recorded in Vancouver and Toronto. Because in order to air the films in Canada at any like high volume, they still need to have a portion of it made in Canada. So the CRTC forces film production to take place in Canada, which like forces American Hollywood productions to spend money in Canada. And then some people will say that like the CRTC is like government overreach. I just don't agree. I think that if entertainment is such a huge part of like day-to-day life, then we should be pushing to have as much of it produced in Canada as possible. Number 6. Switch 6. Switch 6. Forgot to change the controller. Oops. But like one thing that's kind of interesting is Hannibal is like almost an entirely American production. The TV show Hannibal, almost entirely American owned. But almost all of it is recorded in the Toronto area. So a bunch of like the FBI headquarter training facilities are my old university. And a couple of like Hannibal's murder scenes are like within an hour drive of where I live. One of them was like at an observatory that's like in Richmond Hill, Ontario. So like it is genuinely really cool that Canada has still managed, even with 1/10 of the population of the States, still managed to like strong arm these huge American companies into treating us like we exist, funneling some of the money, instead of just funneling all of the money from entertainment into the States, it gets funneled back into the Canadian economy, at least in some ways. Do you like that concept a lot? I think that like it's so difficult now because the internet is a lot harder to regulate than like radio. So tuning into a radio station in Canada, you're still going to get a lot of Canadian music. But there's like no regulations on Spotify to do the same thing as far as I know. So you listen to an American band on Spotify, there's nothing saying that the next thing that it recommends needs to be a Canadian band. So the internet is definitely making it a little bit more difficult for Canadian produced media to have the same support as it used to. Now, that being said, the Canadian government still supports Canadian YouTube channels. Like the Linus Tech Tips YouTube channel gets funding from the Canadian government, at least partly. And I think that's great. I think that like governments should be supporting their local homegrown, home-produced media. It makes no sense to me that you wouldn't want movies, television, books, art to be produced in your own country. There we go. That's Tandemaus number 5. Got to save, and then we got one more Tandemaus to grab. Oh, let's check this Tandemaus out and see what his stats be looking like. I just always want to have like some documentation of like checking the Tandemaus' stats before it gets moved around. So we can be like, okay, I mean, most that all lines up, like nature, stats, everything. Okay. They pay taxes, so it's kind of like investing into a company, I would say. Artists? Who pays taxes? Number 3 is our final one here. Okay. Forgot to do it again. Always forgetting to change the controller. There we go. And then I think, just because we've been going now for, what are we at? Oh, I can't, about 3 hours. So it'll be about 3.5 hours of streaming. When we finish this run, I think that that'll be a good place to kind of pause for today so that I can get some other stuff done. And then we're going to be back at it again tomorrow. Because we got 12 done today. We have until the 1st. I want to definitely have these done by the 29th. So I think over the next 2 days, we need to do 2 or 3 runs every day in order to get everything. This is just my first stream back. So it's I just want to make sure I get myself some food and some rest. Companies that get support from the state. Yeah, I mean, Linus Tech Tips, the company, definitely pays a lot in taxes. I think that getting some back to produce Canadian media and support Canadian artists makes sense. I, however, am not eligible for those sorts of things as far as I know, because the media that I produce, that being Pokemon, uses intellectual property from other countries, which generally kind of like disqualifies you from being eligible for any sort of grants for media production. I might be able to get grants for media production that is like not Pokemon related, but if it's Pokemon or Nintendo related, I believe that I am SOL. Here we go. Tandemaus number 6, baby. Let's see it. Show me the mouse. That is 6 more traditional Chinese Tandemaus. 5.85% chance of one of these being a family of 3. Yes, my stomach is growling. I believe it is telling me it will soon be time. But Fawn, I'm sorry I didn't respond to your message. I don't know if I just missed it, but I appreciate what you said if you're still here. Do I play any instruments? Not well. I love music. I love the arts, but as for producing it myself, I'm just not very good at it. One of my ex-girlfriends was like a musical prodigy, so they had what's called what is the name for it? I'm blanking. It's not heterochromia. That's the word that keeps coming to mind, but that's not the right one. Hey Siri, what is the name of the medical condition where you associate sound with colors? Synesthesia. That's what it is. So my ex-girlfriend had synesthesia. She was like a musical prodigy. She played like almost every instrument. Tried to teach me how to play the piano. And I genuinely sometimes struggle to differentiate like vastly different notes from one another. I have like no sense of particularly good rhythm. So I'm okay. I'm okay with not being able to make music. It's fine with me. Doesn't bother me. Doesn't mean I can't appreciate it. I think one of the reasons that I appreciate the arts so much, and one of the reasons that I hate AI so much, is that in the like, 4 billion year history of Earth, the only beings that have stemmed from the muck in the ground and been able to produce art and archive it and enjoy it worldwide have been humans. That's not to say that like belugas can't make art, but they can't archive it. They can't share it in the same way that humans can. And as far as we know, in the entire planet, in the entire universe, in the history of everything that has ever existed, ever, we only know of one species, one entity that is able to create and appreciate and share art. Humans. And now AI is claiming to be able to create art at the same level that humans can, but it's missing one important thing. It can't appreciate it. It can't draw real meaning from it. And it can't have an emotional response to it. One of the most beautiful things about creating art is being able to share an emotional experience with another human being. We all live in this universe of our own creation. Our minds are universes of their own. And it is nearly impossible for another human being to ever fully understand everything that's going on in your head. To start, we can't even fully explain the qualia of what it's like to look at a piece of fruit. I cannot prove without reasonable doubt that when Galactic Getaway looks at an apple, he sees the same red that I do. So we all exist alone in this universe in our mind. But art is this one beautiful way for us to, for a brief moment, come together and experience a universe in unison. And like I said, nothing else in the universe ever, as far as we know, has ever been able to do that. And it's devastating that we live in this period of time where anybody wants to come after that. Anybody thinks for a second that a computer could create something that humans are uniquely equipped for. Have I seen the post of the guy who saw AI art in an art gallery and started eating it? Based. If I was rich, I'd pay his bail. An AI art gallery is not an art gallery. It's frustrating. I talked to my girlfriend about this when I was staying with her in Montreal, and she said, like, she was kind of like playing a little bit of devil's advocate of like, you know, don't you feel like if you just have this like deep-seated hatred for AI taking over the world, that it's going to put you behind everybody who's adopting it? And I kind of said, perhaps, but I guess that's like a risk I'm willing to take. I'd much rather be behind the curve of the idiots that think that AI slop is any replacement for human interaction and human creativity. And then just continue living my life in a way that gets to do its best to support and promote true human creativity and experience. And then, you know, and then we were talking, and it's like, you know, what are your thoughts in the event of like, you know, what do you think we do in the future if, like, you know, schools have heavily integrated AI into their curriculums? What if teachers are being replaced with like AI chatbots and learning bots? And I'm like, then I guess we homeschool our kids. I just have absolutely no interest in participating in a world replaced by machines. When I was 19, 20, late 19, early 20, I had decided almost entirely that I no longer wanted to live. I was on the very urge, like literally like a cliffside wading out into the lake, ready to no longer be part of everything that was going on. And when I decided not to do that, when I decided to stick around, there was a few things that helped me find a way to reground myself in reality. And one of those was live music, concerts, attending real life music written by real life people. And I still remember, like, it was not that long after I had been suicidal that I went to this concert, small indie band, and they played the song Paradise. So it's Dakota Male Paradise. You can go look it up. And not too long after all of that, I went to this concert and they said, you know, we're going to play something that we've been working on. It wasn't out yet. And they played this song, and it was like it clicked it clicked with me in that moment why it would have been so goddamn stupid to have taken my own life. Because setting aside all of the pain and suffering it would have caused everybody else, being purely selfish and looking at it from my own perspective, billions and billions of years have gone past where nothing has existed and been able to appreciate and produce and manifest art in the way that we can. And my God, would it be dumb to take that gift that was given to all of us, the gift to be able to experience life with one another and feel good and feel bad and have songs that make you cry and songs that make you feel alive, and just throw it away, right? And then they stopped playing. The song ended. And I had to wait until the next time they were live. The next time they played live, I went to the concert and I listened to them play it again. And this time they'd changed it. It was a different experience, but it was still really good. And I teared up and I just felt like all of the other shit that was going on in my life that made me feel like it wasn't worth it was trivial when I took into account the fact that I got to experience things like this because I stuck around. And waiting for that song to have its full release gave me something to look forward to in a way that like an AI song never could. Waiting 5 seconds while the AI generates its garbage is a vastly different than waiting 6 months for a piece of art to be finished that you can experience and enjoy. And I don't know, maybe I'm just preaching to the choir. Maybe everybody here already agrees with what I'm saying. And I bet that most of you do. But I think that I'm going to go down kicking and screaming before I accept that like AI has any place replacing artists. AI has any place in like modern society at all. Being alive is a unique, special gift. And the day that I decided to continue being alive, I made the decision that even if there's 100 bad days, one good day has to be worth it. One good day has to outweigh 100 bad days, because nothing else in the entire universe ever has been able to experience a good day. Think about that. In the entire universe, like ever, nothing else has been able to have a good day and then sit down and say, I had a good day today. And there's a lot of things that you can find value in the world, you know, whether it's helping other people have that one good day. I think that that's also worth it. Nothing else in the entire universe has ever been able to sit down and say, I think I helped that person have a good day today. Oh shoot, I entirely forgot to look at our Tandemaus' stats. Okay, let's see what we got here. Lots of pretty good, okay stuff. Okay. Very good, pretty good. Do we have anything like super unique? No, nothing like super crazy unique. Okay. Well, let's do this. Yeah, I feel like I'm just rambling a little bit, so I'm sorry for that. But like, I just genuinely, like, I just feel so strongly about not wanting to have the things that make being human unique taken from us. Shoot, I evolved that Tandemaus entirely wrong. It is a family of 4, but I entirely evolved that incorrectly. Oof. Imagine the embarrassment if that had been our family of 3. That'll be probably the only Tandemaus that we evolved today where I'm kind of glad it's not the family of 4. Or sorry, that I'm glad it's family of 4. I don't think, yeah, I don't think it'll be taken completely, but I think that like between the corporatization of the music industry and then like the ease of access to AI generation, like I do feel like art production is going to be more and more difficult to pursue as a career. But I definitely need to do a better job the next time I have friends visiting Toronto. I need to like definitely do a better job of like making sure I actually take them to go see some live music, because Toronto's music scene is one of the reasons that I love the city so much. Well, Galactic, that's what I'm kind of saying. Like, that's why I was saying that buying the hand-painted art from the voice actor of Mewtwo, it's insane that people were spending hundreds of dollars on Pokemon cards and just ignoring that. I have a 1-of-1 piece of art produced by the voice actor for Mewtwo. That is a Mouse2. We don't want that. Get this Mouse2 out of here. Hello, Isaiah. Welcome on in. You're joining us just in time for the last 4 Tandemaus evolutions of the day. We are trying to get the family of 3 Cherish Ball Birthday Tandemaus, the rarest event Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We have 4 more attempts today. It'll become underground, but you can't kill the underground. Yeah. The only thing about things being underground is they're not profitable. It's already so difficult to make money as an indie artist. And it should be a career path. Ba-da-ba-doom. Here we go. Evolution number 3, number 9 total for today. Three more. But yeah, I'll post a picture of the art that I got in the Discord for anybody who might want to join the Discord. It's really cool. I'm really excited to just have like genuinely a piece of like super unique Pokemon history. We have the VHS signed by the voice actors. We have this piece of art by JGO, like bunch of fake fans. Come on. Why? Why so many family of freaking 4 mouses? There we go. Okay. Here we go. Oh, I got arena trapped. I'm so dumb. Gosh, darn it. Okay, do not attack trappage. Lesson learned. They're very cute though. That did no damage. And they're dead. Okay. Very good. Whoopsie-daisy. Okay. Let's revive our Tandemaus. Let's try to evolve them into a mousehold again. Bag. There we go. Flygon, on the other hand, that one we can attack. Bum, bum, ba-dum. We are, I think we have two Tandemaus left meta. We've done 10 so far today. And we have not had any luck, no. 10 family of 4 mouseholds. But this one could be it. Chinese, 1-child policy Tandemaus. This is the one. Devastating. Devastating every time. Every time. It doesn't get any easier. It doesn't get better. Galactic is driving a car. And the Kanto starter is just pulled in front of you. I do not understand what that means. But hopefully you didn't run anything over. Okay. Tandemaus. Front of the party. Kill this miracle. Family of 3. Here we go. 1% chance. Bumper stickers. Okay. Can I get some FO3 in chat? A little bit of good luck. Some fingers crossed. Anything. Literally anything. Here it is. Say hi to YouTube, everybody, because this is the one. Family of 3. Why did I do this? Why did I think this was a good idea? I think I'm just dumb. I think I should have listened to everybody when they said, don't do that, it's stupid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58. So we've redeemed 59 on stream alone. And then there's all of the ones that I've given away as well. Before even counting the ones that I've given away at regionals or the ones that we gave away during the Christmas event, 59 of them has a 44% chance of getting the family of 3. So effectively, like, yes, I've only lost a coin toss, but we're at a point now where it's genuinely like, I don't think that I'm going to be able to get any more codes. My rat dealer is out of codes. I'll message him now. I'll say, like, please let me know if you're able to find anything. Oh no, rat dealer. No, I mean, we're not going to give up because I still have more codes. So let me check. Let me check our spreadsheet here. So at the moment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. So there's 42 codes that aren't used. I think 6 of them I used at the regionals. So we have 36 left. They expire on January 1st. Tandemaus code. There's like actually none left on eBay. I might need to go to the gray market and buy more codes. There's somebody selling Pokemon. I might just message them. Hi, would I be able to buy just the Tandemaus codes? Somebody trying to sell Pokemon Violet with a Tandemaus code. eBay, filter, item location, worldwide. There's like no Tandemaus codes left on eBay. We got to go to the gray market today. FO3 is in there. I'm going to look for a few more codes. But I think tomorrow we got to do just like all day. What time does everybody want to wake up tomorrow to hunt for Tandemaus? What time can everybody be online and how many hours? If I was to stream again, or even if I was able to, if I was to stream again tonight, if we came back in like 6 hours, we could probably do that. Got all day. Well, Always rent. Okay. It's settled. Tomorrow, I think we need to do 20 Tandemaus codes tomorrow. 24. So we'll do twice as many tomorrow. 24. That's going to be about 6-7 hours. 6-7 hours of Tandemausing. 24 codes. Oh. Thank you everybody for joining today, though. It was good. I got to ramble, got to chat. We got to look at 12 Tandemauses. Tomorrow, we're going to do double that. And then, because that'll be the 28th, 29th. Yeah, I think like 29th, I want to be done. I want to have all of my Tandemauses done by the 29th. I'm going to go look around today, see if I can find any more Tandemauses before bed. What time stream tomorrow? I think I'm going to aim to start same time. I'm going to aim to start at noon tomorrow. So in 21 hours. And then we're going to do 6.5. Should be good. Everybody who's here, thank you so much for joining. I genuinely appreciate it. I'm going to go get some food in me because my stomach has been growling at me. We will catch you again very soon.